So, a fresh new week has arrived, and here on this channel that means one thing and one thing only. Every weekend I post an episode of this series we do called Your Take Not Mine, where I turn to you the viewers to give me your hottest NBA takes of the week based on what's going on at the time, and I then choose my favorite submissions and discuss them in a video. This week the conference finals provided more drama than we've arguably ever seen before, due to the drastic turnaround since last week's episode of this series. Plus, more off-season rumors have swirled, and the NBA draft continues to approach, so of course we have plenty to discuss. In order to submit your takes, I make a community post on either the day of or the day before the video, similar to the one that you see on your screen now, so if you want a chance to be featured in a future episode, be sure to stay on the lookout for that. Before we start though, I want to thank the sponsor of today's video, PrizePicks. As the 2023 NBA playoffs continue on, PrizePicks is the best and easiest way to play daily fantasy to stay engaged on all of the excitement. All you have to do is pick between 2 and 6 players and the over or under on their projections, and you can win up to 20 times your original entry. Plus, PrizePicks is coming in hot with a new promotion where every single day during the NBA playoffs, one user will win a chance at becoming a millionaire. How it works is that one entry placed after 8 a.m. every day will be randomly selected, then whoever gets selected will be given a 6-pick flex where the payouts include winning $1 million if all 6 hit, $80,000 if 5 hit, and $16,000 if 4 hit, so you still have plenty of time to get in on the action for your chance to be chosen. By going down to the link in the description of the video and using promo code REFERENCE when you sign up, you also get a deposit match bonus of up to $100. Once again, thank you to PrizePicks for sponsoring today's video. Now let's get back to the topic at hand. The first take we'll be discussing today comes to us from Christian, and he says that if the Celtics win Game 7, then this will forever be a stain on Jimmy Butler's legacy regardless of what he accomplishes afterward. It's so crazy how drastically the narrative has shifted in this series, because literally in my last episode of this Your Take Not Mine series that I posted last weekend, all of the takes submitted were filled with nothing but praise and positivity for the Heat, who were on the brink of an NBA Finals berth. They were up 3-0 in the series, and the Celtics were all but dead, but this week they seem to have come back from the dead and are now firmly in the driver's seat, one win away from making history. 0 teams have ever gone down 3-0 in a playoff series and then come back to win, and that is exactly what the Celtics are on the verge of accomplishing. The NBA and its fan base is without a doubt one of the most narrative-driven leagues in professional sports, and when discussing the legacies of great players, their performances in moments like this tend to be what gets discussed the most. The Golden State Warriors, for example, set the wins record in 2016, winning 73 games in the regular season, but if you were to ask the average fan what comes to mind with the 2016 Warriors team, the most common answer would, of course, be the fact that they blew a 3-1 lead in the NBA Finals. No matter what Steph Curry accomplishes in his great career, trolls will always throw out that 3-1 choke back in his face, whether it's fair or not, and the same will absolutely be the case for this Miami Heat team if they lose Game 7. I don't care if they're the 8th seed. I don't care if they weren't even supposed to be here in the first place. I don't care what happens afterward. Being the first team in NBA history to lose a series after leading it 3-0 is a stain that will stick with you forever. It's the highest form of choking never before seen at this level of basketball, and the craziest part of it all is that literally 1 week ago, Jimmy Butler was being labeled as one of the greatest playoff risers ever, and that reputation could immediately vanquish with a Game 7 loss. The next take we'll be discussing today comes to us from Mavs Fan Forever, and he says that the long layoff will actually end up hurting more than helping the Denver Nuggets, because the winner of the East will come in with good rhythm while the Nuggets will be rusty from such a long break. When it comes to the NBA playoffs, the main priority for every group, outside of winning it all of course, is to get as healthy as possible so your players can be at their best for the biggest moments. In recent history, a common theme amongst the teams that make deep runs is that they've typically also been the healthiest groups. The more time off you can get to rest up and nurse anything that's plaguing the group, the better. And for the Nuggets, they completed their sweep of the Lakers on the 22nd of May and will end up having over a full week off from play before the NBA Finals begin. So they've been sitting back, relaxing, and watching the two teams in the East battle it out, putting more strain on their bodies in anticipation of the matchup. To go directly against the take at hand here, this has actually been the absolute best case scenario in many ways for the Nuggets, because whoever they end up facing will have barely any time to breathe in between the series, while the Nuggets will be at full strength, eager to get back on the court after this extended layoff. The Celtics are dealing with Malcolm Brogdon being injured, the Heat have Jimmy Butler playing through injury at less than 100% strength, along with Gabe Vincent having just missed a game due to injury as well, and while it's going to be an amazing feeling for the team that wins Game 7, having triumphed in that series, the emotional roller coaster is probably going to prove to be way more difficult for them to shift their focus immediately to Denver in such a short amount of time, so I completely disagree with this take. And finally, the last take we'll be discussing today comes to us from August, and he says that the Bucks' window for contention is closing quickly, with their best players starting to get caught by Father Time. The Bucks were looking like a potential dynasty in the making in 2021 when they finally overcame the hurdle and took home the championship, and with their core locked in moving forward at the time, there was no reason to think their dominance in the East would end. Then the only thing that could have possibly slowed down that momentum actually happened, being of course the injury bug striking. In the playoffs last year, the Bucks looked as ready as ever to defend their title, but then Chris Middleton aggravated a knee injury in the first round that he was already nursing throughout the year, and it caused him to miss the rest of their playoff run. Middleton wasn't able to recover in time for this season, he missed a large majority of the first half of this year, and then when he did get back on the court, he looked like a shell of his former self out there, seeing his production drop significantly. Admittedly, he did steadily start to look better as the season went on, and he didn't even play that poorly in the playoffs either, but with the Bucks losing to the 8th seed in the first round, it overshadowed any progress made. There's no guarantee that Middleton will ever return to his former All-Star days fully. Brook Lopez is a free agent this summer too, and losing him would be a massive blow to the roster, and they don't really have much money to spend in free agency, nor do they have that many valuable assets to trade to restock. Obviously, when you have a player like Giannis Antetokounmpo in his prime, you'll be able to be in contention every year, but it is without a doubt going to be difficult for the Bucks to make big moves to improve themselves. And with that being said, that's all I have for you today. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below what you think about the takes discussed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.